Hello everybody. Today on my GTO behind me over here, I am starting to work on the steering column. I just received my Ididit steering column, and what I am going to do is I am going to take everything I need off of the old steering column, which is the bracket here that goes up against the firewall, the steering column bracket. I'm going to bolt all that on, and I'm going to install it on the new steering column. And then once I do all that, I'm going to show you exactly all the parts you need for the D shaft and the universal joints that you need to secure on the bottom of the steering column to the rack and pinion that I installed on my 68 GTO. So let's get started, and I'll take you step by step on what we're going to do.
I'm going to be installing my Ididit steering column. I ordered it from Ididit. I really like their products. I use them in other builds that I have done, and I like to thank Dominic. He really helped me finding exactly what I needed and how I was going to do it, what parts I needed to get the D shaft and the universal joints. I ordered all them up. Everything came. I spray painted my steering column. Came out really nice. So I'm going to show you what I did is I took this bracket off of the original steering column. This is a 68 GTO steering column, and behind me is what I'm working on, if you don't know, if you're a new subscriber. So I just wanted to show you how I'm going to do this. It's very simple, so if you do it on your car, you know exactly what to do and how to do it. So I'm going to bring you down here closer and show you exactly how everything is. And like I said, I spray painted this. I ordered it steel. You could get it in different colors, like if you want to powder coat it, if you want to stainless steel, if you want to chrome, I'm sure they'll take care of you. So I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to switch everything over, and then we're going to install it in the car. And when I'm done, before I'm done, I am going to show you the D shaft, the universal joints, everything you need. I'm going to bring you down here and show you exactly how this all comes together. Here we are. There's the original steering column right there. That's the mounting plate for the firewall with the foam seal. And I'm going to show you all that in a minute. This is the new steering column, and I already installed the bracket that gets held on underneath the dashboard there. And everything you need here, this is from American Auto Wire, but it comes with the kit when you order the steering column, which is really, really nice. It's an 8-position tilt Ididit steering column. And that being said, I wanted to show you, this is the dress-up kit, okay? Now this is really important here, the universal joints that you're going to need to get this kit to work with my situation, which is a rack and pinion. So this universal joint here, 013449, this is the 3/4 36 spline by 3/4 universal joint that goes to the rack and pinion. And this here, 014349, goes to the steering column, which is a 48 spline by 3/4. See that? Now, Dominic really helped me with what I needed. Like I said, I did other builds with different steering components, but he guided me through this. And I'm going to show you how everything goes together. But what I'm doing now is just temporarily installing the shaft. And what happens is when my motor comes, I'm going to have to redo the steering shaft with another universal joint because I don't think I have the angle correct. So I have to go over it with him again to make sure that that's going to work. But this is the foam seal that gets put up against the firewall. okay? And then there's 2 screws, one here and one on the bottom, that you take off, and this spreads apart, so you don't have to really worry about getting it to fit properly. The only thing you have to worry about is getting this rubber seal on the shaft, this shaft, before you install the steering column, because this actually goes on the inside of the car, okay? This is the bracket here, very simple to remove. It's just 4 bolts, and it is right here. See, the 4 bolts are removed, and that's done. And like I said, everything here is really, really nice. Nice setup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you back on the tripod and switch everything over, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, here we are. This is the gasket, the foam gasket. I already took the bracket off. The bracket's right here. Like I said, it's just 2 screws right here. And this is the new foam seal you're going to need that goes up against your Firewall. I already tried to make sure that it fit. That's why it's all wrinkly here, but I've tried it. This is the foam seal you're going to need if you're building a 68 through 72 A body. So that's the sponge seal steering column. A as in Apple, M as in Michael, S as in Sam, 5161. So there you have it. That's what you're going to need, and that's the seal. So let me show you. This seal is this seal right here. Okay, this is pretty beat up, so you can't really reuse it. But I just wanted to show you this right here. There's if you want to remove your steering wheel column, you're going to have to loosen this bolt right here, and I don't want to drop it. There it is right here. You're going to have to loosen this bolt, and there's a indentation in your shaft, okay, which is, let me show you, that right there. You see that indentation? So they all have them, and that's a safety, so it doesn't pull out when you're driving or whatever. So that's this part here. So when you take that out, all you have to do is loosen this bolt, pull the pin out, give it a good whack, and that'll come right out. So let's put the foam seal on the shaft, and then I'm gonna go to install it in the car. Very simple. Okay, I just slid the seal on, and that's all it is. It fits over the shaft just like that. And then when you're ready, you take this 2 pieces, you open it up. Let me show you here. You take this bolt out. Okay, and it comes into 2 separate pieces just like that. And then once you install it in the car, you put it on, and then you could just clip it and then bolt it up. So I'm going to take you and the steering column in the car and show you exactly how to do it. I'm showing you this on the bench as it was upside down. So, and that's how you're pretty much installing your steering column. Okay, so you have these 2 rods right here, and these rods are adjustable up and down depending on where you want to put it. So you see that? So these rods are adjustable, and they have a nut right here, a bolt, I'm sorry, threaded rod here, and this is how you secure your steering column. So the reason why there's tape there is because I don't want to scratch up the steering column. And it goes right in that pocket right there. You see the 5 holes right here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to use these
5 bolts right here, okay? And these 2 nuts are for the threaded steering column. So I'm going to put that up, and I am going to show you what it looks like. So give me a second. Okay, there's the foam seal. It's in place. See that? And the nuts right here. This one right here, see it? This one right here is installed. The other one's installed. And what happens is you line everything up. Okay, it's hard to see because it's dark in there. And you line everything up, and everything should line up to where it was originally. That's what's really nice about this. And like I said, I just put some tape here to protect it from getting all scratched up. And now here is the bracket that goes on, and it goes just like this. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to put it right over the steering column. And if you have a problem where, let me show you this. If you have a problem where this is loose, holding your steering column, what you can do is tap it on each side here and bend the, you can see you could move them if you run into a problem. They're not welded through and through. They just have little tabs. So you could bend these little tabs to support the steering column, which would make it tighter, and that's what you want. You want this bracket to hold the steering column in place. So I'm going to line this up and put it in and show you what it looks like. Here's a really good shot. There's the 5 bolts that you need to secure it to the firewall. Okay, but before you do all that, you got to make sure that everything is nice and tight around the column. So you got to make sure right along here you have to adjust it accordingly. So you got to loosen this up, make sure that the bracket's tight against the firewall, and then tighten the 5 bolts all the way around, snug them up. That way you don't have any problems with it bending something that it's not supposed to bend. So just take your time and you can do it. It's very easy to do. So just wanted to show you that. And these right here are the bolt. Here's the one bolt on this side and the other bolt on that side right there. So, and this is secure. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So this is nice and tight. So just wanted to show you that. This is what it's going to look like on the outer side of your firewall. Okay, so it comes through the steering column right through here. This is the rubber gasket. You might have to put some kind of sealer right up in here in case you don't want to get any water or anything coming up in there. So you need to make sure that's done properly as well. Now, ready to install the universal joint on the steering column here. And it's going to come down and it's going to attach to the rack and pinion shaft, which is right there. So I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do that. Here's a better shot of it. So it's very simple to do if you're doing it on your own. So there's the steering column shaft right there and the rack and pinion shaft right here. So let me put that all together and let me show you how that comes. We're going to start with the 48 spline by 3/4 universal joint. Okay, and right here there's a, let me show you that. There's a little Allen set screw with a nut to tighten it up. Like I said, this is just going to be temporary until I get my motor, and I got to figure out where the headers are. So I don't want to do this permanently and have a problem where it's going to hit the headers on the motor. So I'm just going to slide this on here. All right. Make sure I have enough clearance for the U-joint to maneuver properly. Okay. So I'm just going to basically lift it up as much as I can without it hitting. And then I'm just going to snug this up.
Okay, and that's going to give me the point of where this is going to be able to swivel and maneuver left and right without hitting the backside of this universal joint. Okay, so now the 36 spline right here, universal joint, is going to go on my rack and pinion. So that piece is going to go down here. And you can't make a mistake, because this is your D shaft. I didn't show you this earlier, but this is your D shaft that you can buy, which fits inside the universal joint right there. And it's purposely made so it locks in there with these two set screws, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm doing this temporarily, I'm just going to use a straight rod, and that's going to go in there, and I'm just going to tighten that up so I'm not cutting this piece twice and buying an extra one. So this is just a 1/2 inch threaded rod that's going to fit in there nicely, so I can move the car around. I could use it to steer the wheels and move the wheels. But this is the spline side right there. Okay, so I'm going to put this in, and I am going to set that set screw again. I'm going to make sure I have enough flexibility and mobility for that to move around. Okay, so I'm just gonna tighten this up snugly, and so it doesn't move around. Okay, so now that's where I want that to be. Okay, and that's pretty much set. So this is the threaded rod. I just got to make a measurement in here and make sure that this is going to fit properly before I go ahead and cut it. So I'm going to bring you down here so you could actually see exactly what everything looks like up close. So I'll be right back. Okay, this is up close so you could see exactly what everything's going to look like. Okay, there's right there is the set screw with the nut that holds it from moving. And then you have two up here for the D shaft. Okay, so let me see if I get both of them. There you go. Okay, and like I said, I'm using a 1/2 inch threaded rod, so I don't have to cut my original D shaft right here. Let me show you. This is it right here. I don't know if I could get the part number on there for you. Right there. All right, it's 409436, and this is the D shaft, and right here, as you could see, it's flat on both sides, and that fits in the universal joint right here, and that's why you have two set screws. One hits the round, one hits the square, so it locks it in nice and tight. And then you have the same thing here. This is the shaft for the 48 spline shaft. Okay, there's your set screw. Obviously, I'm going to clean this up. I don't want to see the set screw in the straight position, so I'm probably going to put it down here once I figure out where the headers go. Because as you can see, this angle right here, if the headers come down, it's going to hit. So I'm afraid that I don't want to go through all this, get it all set, and have a problem with the headers hitting the D shaft. Okay, so that's going to be a video later on if I decide to make one. But I just wanted to show you that you can do it. I mean, it's very simple, and you're probably going to use a double U-joint if I'm not mistaken. So they make a double U-joint, so you'll have one here and then one here, so it'll be like an offset, and they have a rod that you could actually secure to your frame that holds it in place so it doesn't move. So it's like a double U-joint. I've seen them in the past. I've used them in the past. So again, this is just the regular shaft, so I could move the car around, and then I just have to tighten everything up, and that way I could move my car if I need to with the steering wheel and turn the wheels, and that way I could move everything around. So in case you're wondering, that's what it looks like up close. Please like,
share, and subscribe if you haven't. See you on the next one.